Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. Joined alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We got Tim in Green Bay, Wisconsin, here to talk some Packers tonight. We're going to talk top 10 coaching candidates, all right? Well, I say candidates. I say top 10 coaches according to the PFF rankings, all right? We're going to talk quarterbacks, where the quarterbacks are ranked, where Jordan Love specifically ranks. Talk a little bit about the passing game. We're going to get into some LV and chalk talk. Before we do, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Omer, a.k.a. Goot Hater 101. We got United Bates. We got Joseph in the house. Clint, the armchair quarterback. Ron Samble. Mr. Larry Cano. Everybody sit up straight. Larry's in here. We got Ed Madden. Daryl in Alaska. Bunch of people following in, man. Appreciate everybody. Chuck Jaggers. I think I said that one. Maybe I didn't. Hardy the Prophet, good to see you, buddy. We got Blake B. A-Fam's mom in the house.
Oh, early showing.
What?
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
A-Fam's mom's got it going on.
We got Bruce in here on X. Appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you in here, man. Jonathan in the house. We got Elijah Gwynn. What's up, man? Trying to read what he says without reading it. Let's see. Let's hit it anyway. Let's hit it. Elijah Quinn says, "Hey Clayton, do you think the Iran peace deal spills over to the coach rankings, or more importantly, do they affect Jay Love's legacy?" It's a great question. Put it on the poll. Let's poll that one tonight, guys. Elijah, you're out of control.
I'm not going to. So quit asking.
And we got Holmes MD1 in here with the A-Fam emoji there. So I love how Bates gave a shout out to Omer at the beginning of the chat there this evening. How we doing, fellas? Everybody good? We good?
I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah. Beautiful day. Tim, how about yourself?
Hey, living the dream, man. Happy to talk some ball. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Let's jump into some Patreon questions real quick. We'll do the best we can with these in rapid fire session. Andy Monday said, what odds does Vegas put on Jair being a Ravens captain for only 1 week this season, week 17 versus Green Bay? You think they'll do that? You think they'll make him a captain?
I think he'll just walk out there, you know?
I think it doesn't matter if they make him a captain. He's going to be anyway, right? Andy Monday also said, could you find gentlemen review the conversion percentages on 3rd and 4th downs in 2024 with down and distance splits, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, with both running and passing efforts if possible? That'd be a tough one to do, Andy. I don't think we'd be able to put all that together.
Weren't we gonna maybe look at third downs if we had a time, a little chalk talk at third downs?
And I tried to pull them and was going to literally just put them in rapid, in order. Boy, there's a bunch. I think the only way to do it would be to go game by game, or maybe like 4-game increments. Might be able to pull it off that way. Yeah, but we need to do that because I do want to get it down to, all right, what went wrong on these specific plays, right? Especially the incompletions anyway.
Yeah.
Randy Cleavers in the chat said, Clayton, do you think that PFF doesn't like our edge rushers? They seem to have conflicting grades on them constantly. Randy, it's kind of a tough question to answer because
I got an answer for it.
They don't know what they're doing. Do you understand that?
There you go. The problem I have with PFF, and you guys know I've been very vocal, Randy, I don't believe they're out to get the Packers. I don't believe that at all. Right? I don't think they're just like, hey, let's make the Packers seem like they're worse than they are. Now, it doesn't help that if you go back and search PFF's Twitter account for Rashawn Gary, they dogged the hell out of Rashawn Gary when he came out in the draft. Now, it was years ago, right? But they were saying Chase Winovich was the better edge rusher, or the better defensive lineman, I should say, out of Michigan. Obviously, Chase Winovich ain't even in the league anymore. So that looks kind of bad, and I can understand how that would upset Packer fans. But the problem we have, Randy, there's no way to get a legitimate answer to your question. And the reason being is they don't back it up with the tape. They don't back it up. They ain't got to back up with the tape. Just back it up with a timestamp. Hey, we gave this grade for this particular play, that type of thing. But they won't even do that. It's just kind of
– it seems like I don't know, almost like a dictatorship, right? Here's our numbers. This is what we came up with, and we don't have to provide any, evidence or anything to support it,
Exactly. And even that, Tim, if they would just provide who graded it,
right?
like this person broke these plays down.
Absolutely.
And then you could do what Michael Lombardi talks about, Emilio. I know you used to listen to the GM podcast, GM Shuffle, when he was on there. What did he always say? Who's evaluating the evaluator?
Yep.
Who's grading the grader? Like who is the person that says, yes, this person is qualified to grade the tape? There's no one there to the best of our knowledge. So
no, and I was listening. I want to say it was a PFF pod, and I could have swore I heard them talking about like, yeah, well, Hafley's kind of got a different defensive scheme there. They're not, always rushing force. So some of the numbers, and I was like, whoa, was that like a little notice? Like, okay, maybe the numbers aren't exactly what we see or anything or what we think we should see. But I do think that it's tough. Obviously, it's nice to have a number to look at, but
right,
it's just you got different ways of looking at it, really.
Yeah, and that's why we always we will use PFF. It's just another system we can use, something to kind of bounce the tape off of and say, okay, PFF said this, and more times than not, I will say this, way more times than not, do I find myself going, yeah, I think that grade's pretty fair.
Right.
It's rare that you'll see the grades from a game and then watch the tape, go back and study the film, and come away going, boy, they really got that one wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like when you look up at the end of the year and you're towards the top of the league in certain statistics, certain measurements, certain metrics, and their grades are horrible in that regard, that don't make sense.
Like the specifics that gets us, right? Like you'll see a guy that gets he'll grade out even week to week, right? He'll grade out low overall, and then he'll have high grades in, pass rush. He'll have high coverage grades, all these other specifics, but then the overall is super low. And then there's no reasoning behind why that is. And that's, I think, where we get the, the discrepancy in what we're looking at. That's why, PFF is just a part of the overall, analysis, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Willie, for the super chat. He said, let's go. Appreciate you jumping in here tonight, man. If you all would, hit that like button for us, subscribe to the channel, do all those YouTube things for us. We greatly appreciate it. If you want to join the YouTube community, you'll see a join tab there. That'll enter you into the giveaways, which we're going to start implementing those again, along with our Patreon community. If you want to support the show, the best way to do so is join our Patreon community, where you can get access to our chats, be a part of the community, and get exclusive content over there as well. We're going to be giving away an autographed rookie card, Kingsley Enagbare, this Saturday or Sunday. Probably Sunday would be the best time to do it. So what we'll do is put everybody who's a member on the wheel, spin that sucker, and give it away to whoever's name it lands on. So again, thank you so much for the super chat there, Willie. We appreciate you, buddy. Andy Monday with the final question/comment said, could you do a PFF comparison between our cornerbacks and the cornerbacks that were available as free agents this offseason? My apologies if you've answered this in previous pods. I just want a clearer picture of what we have to build off of in the cornerback room. I'm sure some fans think that that had we drafted a cornerback early, then that would have solved the issue. But that is very rarely the answer to a bad cornerback room. Some fans claim that free agent cornerback acquisitions are the fix, but that depends on who's available in any given offseason. In other words, did Goody do a seemingly good job making moves in the cornerback room this offseason? Of course, time will tell. I think Hafley's second season at DC is a major factor. Go Pack, go. Yeah, I don't know, man. We could pull all the free agents and look at their PFF grades, and we just got through talking about how PFF isn't everything. So it's like you spend a lot of time pulling all that information, and then you go, it's just PFF. Does it matter or not? I'm of the opinion, when the Packers sign somebody, I don't like going back and trying to determine was that a good signing or not before they've even played a snap.
Yeah.
It's me personally. And it's the same thing with the draft. People will say, man, do a breakdown of this prospect, do a breakdown of that prospect. I don't want to waste a second of my time breaking down a prospect that's not going to play for the Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? I want to invest all that time into something. And that's why we keyed in on the top 30s, right? The 30 because that's a good chance, a good shot that those guys are going to be on the Packers short list of prospects they want to bring in, potentially draft. So,
Yep.
But in terms of if you're asking, hey, do you think he did a good job filling the cornerback room? It's funny, Tim. We went through the entire. I don't want to say we, me. I did. I went through the entire season going, boy, it's going to be hard to win a Super Bowl this young, right?
Yep.
And then if the answer is go draft a corner, well, you just got even younger. Instead, they went out and got a veteran cornerback who's got some versatility to him. And I think he, based off the tape that we've watched, he likes to play kind of top down, keep things in front of him. He's very aggressive underneath. It kind of fits the bill for what we've seen with Jeff Hafley's zone heavy defense last year.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, to Andy's point, I think I get the gist of what he's asking here. And really, it's not about corner or any other position group. It doesn't matter, right? You don't want to be a franchise or an organization that constantly needs to get draft picks into your organization. And you also don't want to be one that is constantly looking to free agency and overpaying past their prime, proven veteran players to try and build your team up, right? You want to do kind of the delicate dance that we've been doing here, thanks to Goody these past couple of years, which is a little bit of both. We've been in the conversation numerous times about how veterans are treated, but hey, it's a sign of the times. It's not exclusive to Green Bay. If you think the Packers are the only ones that, look at guys over 30 years old with a side eye, you're sorely mistaken. That's every team in the NFL, at the end of the day. So the answer is you don't want to be dependent on one or the other, right? You don't want to constantly have to feel like you're drafting your next franchise player every year. And you also don't want to keep going to the well, getting aging free agents on a 1 or 2 year deal and overpaying them. So I think, I give Goody a B+, for his efforts when it comes to specifically the cornerback room. I think the Hobbs signing was great. It gave us a contingency for, what we thought might have happened, which did happen, which was Jair leaving, right? We knew this was going to kind of, be how it was. It was the writing on the wall. So you do your due diligence, you bring some guys in. I mean, to Goody's credit, we've been active in free agency. We've been active in the draft at corner and safety the past couple of years. So I'll take it. That's the best effort you can possibly have, right? You don't want to lean too far to one side or the other.
Right. And to the draft pick, I mean, you only have so many of them, right, Tim? So, yeah, we've had 11, 12 the past couple of years. We only had 7, 8 this year. So, you can only take a spot at with whatever picks you have. And our corners did pretty decent last year. Where were we struggling? We weren't getting pass rush with 4. We had to scheme it up. So why would you not look towards the trenches and kind of go from there? And, Greg Cosell was on the install there, Clay, and he was just talking about the Packers. He was kind of like, Keyshawn's a slot, Hobbs is a slot. He said, so they kind of don't have outside corners, so it's going to be kind of exciting to see what Hafley does, moving them around and stuff like that, which is, we've kind of been on that. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to play where. So, this preseason and training camp and all that's going to be huge.
Yeah, completely agree, man. All right, let's move it along here. Let's talk a little head coach rankings. All right, PFF puts these out now. Again, PFF catches a lot of heat for these articles they put out. I enjoy the grades, and I love the fact that they've got a systematic approach to trying to evaluate individual players each and every week. When they write these articles, though, I can't help but sometimes wonder, is this kind of clickbait? Are they trying to engage interaction with how they line these up? All right, and I'm going to go through these top 10 head coaches. All right, it's ranking the top 10 returning NFL head coaches entering the 2025 season. All right, many of these I don't disagree with, but
many of them.
You're going to
not all.
You're going to notice one coach that's not on this list. Let's just go through it real quick. All right. Number 1, they've got Andy Reid. We're not going to read the little paragraph here, the excerpt. You guys go check it out yourself. They'll do just kind of a detailed breakdown. They got Andy Reid, number 1. Listen, I have no problem with Andy Reid being number 1 on this list. That dude has won. How many Super Bowls has he won now? Does it list there? Won all of them, including the playoff, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to think of how many Super Bowls he's got.
3 with Kansas City, right?
Yeah. I want to say it was 4.
I want to say 4.
Yeah.
4, and then one with
no, he didn't win one with Philly. He
got there, but he didn't win one. That's right.
Yeah. And seemed like he was always at least in the NFC Championship. So Andy Reid, no problem with that at all, right? Sean Payton, I ain't gonna lie, man. That kind of bothers me a little bit that he's number 2. Top 10, I can. All right, I can understand that.
Amen, Clayton.
Number 2
It doesn't bother me that he's on the top 10 list. It bothers me that he's right after Andy Reid. That's crazy.
Right, and the thing is, like, number 2, right? And his winning percentage. Where is his winning? His winning percentage is 618, right? Mike McCarthy's is 608. And people talk about Sean Payton like he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Mike McCarthy don't even get mentioned. They both got a Super Bowl. The quarterbacks, they help their quarterbacks. They coach their quarterbacks both the MVPs. Like, it's just crazy that he's number 2 on this list. And Holmes MD1 in the chat said, no way Peyton is 2. I'm with you, man. I'm glad I'm not the only person that didn't see it like that. So next you got Sean McVay with the LA Rams. Now, on the surface, it seems a little high, but he was the youngest coach to make it to a Super Bowl. He's the youngest coach to win the Super Bowl. He's been to the Super Bowl twice already. I don't have as much problem with that as I do Sean Payton. I don't know about you guys, but
I think you're right on, Clay. Sean McVay. I was listening to All 32 Pod. They were kind of saying Sean McVay was one of their deal breakers on ranking teams. They were ranking the NFC teams, 1 through 16, and Sean McVay bumped him up a level because he was who he was. Right, hit the schemer, the coach, everything like that.
Yeah. Up next, you got John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens, right? And another Super Bowl winning coach. I think he's made it to a couple, if I remember correctly. So, it's 4 high. It could be a little too high. I don't know. But again, I'd put John Harbaugh over Sean Payton.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And another guy that belongs on the list, right?
Right.
For sure.
Chuck Jaggers may be onto something here. He says Sean Payton 2 sounds like media love. I can see that too. Freaking new. Mike Tomlin, number 5. Now, this one's tough for me. 1 Super Bowl, right? And we talked about his playoff record, and it was, it's ugly now, isn't it, boys?
Playoffs? Don't talk.
But, again, I would have him above Sean Payton, though, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You think so, guys? What do you think? Am I wrong there? Or maybe they're about the same. What do you think? Sean Payton, Mike Tomlin.
I mean, man, if Sean Payton's number 2, I think there's an argument that you might as well put Tomlin there and switch them. I don't think either one of them necessarily are in that top 5, but definitely they both belong in that top 10 for sure. I just disagree with the order.
Do you think Sean Payton's up there because he's the one with the headset on calling the plays a little bit more? Like Andy Reid's calling the plays, Sean's kind of calling the plays.
I think he's up there because it can't be overlooked what he did in 1 season with Denver. I mean, let's be honest. He kind of flipped things around there pretty quickly. So, and then that combined with his previous track record as a head coach, and then to your point, wearing the headset, calling the plays, basically running the entire show. I think you got to put him up there and give him credit. But he hasn't won anything since him and Drew Brees won a ring. So it's been a while.
It's worth mentioning too. Mike Tomlin win percentage 630. That's higher than John Harbaugh's 623 and Sean Payton's 618. Sean McVay at 606. So Mike Tomlin has a better winning percentage than those guys in front of him there.
And the first, I think the headset has a lot to do with the first 3. To be honest, Mike Tomlin and Jim, not as they're not sitting there just rattling off plays and headset.
Gotcha. Jim Harbaugh of the Los Angeles Chargers. I know on the surface some people would see that and go, no way. But Jim Harbaugh, believe it or not, guys, he has the 8th highest winning percentage in the history of the NFL at 685. Like you're talking about higher than George Papa Bear Hallis, Don Shula, Paul Brown, Tony Dungy. You're talking about Hall of Fame coaches. Bill Belichick's at 647. Jim Harbaugh's at 685. So for me, Jim Harbaugh should be higher on this list. Like he should probably be a little bit. Now he doesn't have a Super Bowl, and that's going to come into factor. Just me grab that pterodactyl. Got it. So, all right. Next, you got Kyle Shanahan of the San Francisco 49ers. That's a guy. Kyle Shanahan's winning percentage, I want to say it was significantly lower, but I could be. His is 530. And
dude, after that year that the Niners had last season,
and Tim, he doesn't have a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
They were up and down a lot too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next, you got Nick Sirianni, 8th. Now, people
Eighth.
say that,
He just won a Super Bowl and he's 8th.
yeah, and check this out, Tim. This is what's wild. Nick Sirianni, winning percentage 706, 5th highest in the history of the game, only behind George Allen, Vince Lombardi, John Madden, and Guy Chamberlain.
Right.
That dude, he should have been in the number 2 spot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Or at least the 7th spot.
right. The top priority, in my opinion, of building this list is wins and losses, right?
Yeah.
So you go off winning percentage, and the only trumper would be the Super Bowl victory, right? Like if somebody's got 2 rings and one guy's got 1 and he's got a lower or a higher winning percentage, I'd probably lean toward, hey, that dude's got more Lombardis. But the winning percentage should be the kind of the tell of the tape here. But anyway, Dan Campbell, number 9. Let's see where Dan Campbell's at on the old list here.
I feel like this might be the most accurate, right? 9th out of 10.
Yeah, and he is 556 winning percentage, actually, 64th in the history of the game. So, Dan Campbell, he's one of those guys. I don't know if I'd put him on the top 10 list, to be honest with you. He'd be
9 or 10 though, right? He'd be towards the back.
Right. Right. And if you don't, he's biting your kneecap. So, I mean, you got to put him on the list, Clay.
How in the heck is Kevin Stefanski on this?
Because he's, a 2-time Coach of the Year winner? And they just think that he's going to stir that team right back up, and Shadur's on there. And so
his winning percentage is 476.
That is so wild.
476.
So wild.
So you guys are going Clayton. Where's Matt LaFleur? Matt LaFleur did not make the top 10.
Where is?
How about these hands?
Unbelievable. So I'm going to pull this up.
I can't stand him, but where's our boy from Minnesota?
Yeah, right, Kevin O'Connell, right?
Yeah, where's KOC in this conversation if you're going to have Stefanski and Dan Campbell up there?
Right, and it's funny you mentioned that, Tim, because look, Kevin O'Connell win percentage, 667.
Yep.
Right? Sean McDermott, another one that was not on the list, 656. He's 17th best in the history of the game. Oh, our boy Matt LaFleur, who got shunned here, by the way, 670, 13th best winning percentage in the history of the NFL.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Somebody make this make sense for me, because this redneck is just too dumb to figure it out.
How dare you?
Do you think they're doing it for shock factor?
I'll just
be a crackhead. They got hold to the wrong stuff.
I don't know. Maybe they want the engagement. You know, this is what we're doing, right? We're talking about how crazy this is.
Yeah. So again, if you were to rehash the list, Emilio, I'm adding Sean McDermott on that list. I'm definitely taking Stefanski off.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm adding McDermott. I'm adding Matt LaFleur.
Yep.
For sure. And you probably got to add KOC over McDermott, although McDermott's been there a little bit longer, right? Yeah, that's probably what's hurting KOC, only 3 years in, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so I would put McDermott over KOC, but I definitely
KOC over Stefanski, right?
All right.
And it's going into this year, right? That was the whole point of the article. It's going into this year. So, like, teams that are on the rise, what are the Browns doing there? You know what I mean? It's so.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because as Solder said, we all know Rodgers won all those games. Matt LaFleur has made the playoffs both years without Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. And I'm just going to say this. Aaron Rodgers has not made the playoffs without Matt LaFleur. You understand what I'm saying? In the last however long, obviously he made the playoffs many years and won the Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy. But if you were to just compare apples to apples there, well, he got hurt. Okay, he got hurt. Got it. What about last year? Well, he didn't have anything around him. He handpicked the entire damn team. What are we talking about here? So,
right.
Oh, we're going to give him some.
Probably there might have been some sarcasm there with H.E. Solder. Regardless, we can agree to disagree if there wasn't. But
real quick, do you think it could have anything to do with the playoff win percentage over there on the side? Like Matt's at what?
Playoffs?
Kevin O'Connell was that double zeros?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's why you got to stick. I don't know.
Yeah, that does come into factor. That comes into factor a little bit, I believe. But
yeah,
Nick Sirianni, though, man,
with the 6'6", 7", he's at number 8. Come on now.
I'm not a big Nick Sirianni fan at all. I think he's kind of quirky. I think he's kind of cocky. He's not, but boy, oh boy, you can't argue with the results for sure. So again, Matt LaFleur, 13th highest winning percentage in the history of the NFL, and can't sniff the top 10. So there you go.
I told you, like I've said before, I'll say it again. We have to bring Lombardi home for Matt LaFleur to get any respect in this league. It's period. That's what's got to happen. We got to win it all.
Yeah. United Base says you could make the same argument with Sirianni, though. Lots of talent. Very, very true. Very true with that. Got a loaded team, no doubt. So there you go. Just a little head coaching talk. I thought that was very interesting. Kind of caught me off guard a little bit. So I'm glad to see that other people looked at that Stefanski on that list and went, what the heck are they smoking over there? So let's do the same thing now with quarterbacks here. PFF did their top 10 quarterback, all 32 starters of the 2025 NFL season, and basically went through and ranked these guys. All right. Let's get into it. Number 1 on the list, they've got Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, they got Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 3, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Let's just stop right there for a second. Pat Mahomes, hard to argue with all the rings, right? I mean, it's kind of like the whole Andy Reid argument there. Joe Burrow, I think, he should be in the top 3 to 5, but I would put Lamar over Joe, me personally. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Joe still hasn't won an MVP. Lamar's won an MVP, right? Actually, two MVPs, right?
Right.
2-time NFL MVP remains. Yeah, there you go.
Lamar does it.
You want a hot take? I'll put Lamar over Pat Mahomes.
I don't think that's so hard to take, Tim. I don't. No. I can see that. I can see the argument. The only problem is the rings, right? And then I know the argument becomes, well, wins aren't a quarterback statistic. Okay.
True.
But, at the end of the day, if you were to – here's how I like to answer this question. You've got one game to win. One, right? You got one game to play. Who's your quarterback? Who are you picking? I'm probably picking Pat Mahomes because he just figured out a way to get it done every single time just about it, right?
Lamar, you know who I'm picking? I'm picking Jay freaking Money.
I don't listen too much Taylor Swift.
I like it. What do you think about that top 3, Emilio?
Yeah, no, I think you both make great points. Honestly, Lamar's got to be above Joe. Lamar's doing it with less talent. Less talent than Jamar Chase and the T. Higgins and everything. So I think that, and Lamar also has the legs too, right? So I think that's where Pat Mahomes gets a little bump. His legs are there, but he's not using them like Lamar. Lamar can steal the show, man. He can break a 90-yarder and it'd be over. So that's that mobility is key.
Yeah. J. Cole says depends on what ref is working the game. That'll determine whether you want Pat Mahomes in there. So I love it. Moving along. Number 4, Josh Allen. Number 5, Jalen Hurts. Number 6, Jaden Daniels. So you see Jaden Daniels getting some love here. I've seen some lists that don't even have him in the top 10. I think 6 might be a little high for me.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, that top 4 I feel like is spot on, in terms of the best 4. Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts, are we being too critical of Jalen Hurts? Do you think he should be in the top in the top 3 or 5? I mean, the dude's got a Super Bowl,
I mean, I think 5 is good, but I think it's this PFF saw it the same way DJ and Buck did. I mean, you have for the trucks and trailers, it was those 4 as are the high end trucks, right? So those they're the ones pulling the trailer. It's those 4, and then it's kind of a bunch after that. PFF was saying the same thing, that you can kind of take this bunch from 5 to 10, maybe even 5 to 15, or 5 to 12ish, and find a really good high end truck, but or a high end trailer, maybe low end truck sort of thing.
Yeah, as Blake says, Hurts showed up big time in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So Jaden Daniels, number 6. Moving along, number 7, Matthew Stafford. Number 8, Justin Herbert. Number 9, Jared Goff. Rounding out the top 10, Geno Smith.
Blah.
Vegas Raiders. The fact that Brock Purdy is 11 blows my mind. I would put Purdy over Geno Smith. I would put him over Jared Goff. I'd put him over Justin Herbert. I'd probably put him over Matthew Stafford, to be honest with you. I'd slide him up to the 7th spot, kick everybody else down, is how I would see that. And then number 12 is our very own Jordan Love. It says, when ranking quarterbacks in this tier, it's almost a dart throw trying to predict the level of play you'll get. Jordan Love's late season run in 2023 was a stellar mix of big-time throws and sound decision-making, but he couldn't carry that momentum into 2024. His big-time throw rate dropped from 5.6 to 3.5%. If he can recapture the 2023 groove, Love has both the talent and mindset to make a run at the NFC crown. How do y'all feel about Jordan Love being in the number 12 spot here?
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
I mean, we were begging last year for him to get into the top 10. They finally put him in the top 10. Let's bump him right back down just because Geno Smith goes. I mean, it's like they are expecting a lot out of Geno Smith this year. There's been a couple of shows that have been talking about him a lot, and I really don't know how it's all going to kind of work out down there.
Yeah, Blake B in the chat, Tim, says Jacob the Beard isn't here to stick up for Baker Mayfield, who comes in at number 13 spot. But what do you think, Tim?
I'll stick up for Baker. You know, Baker can go to 12 since Jordan belongs in the top 10, so we can just move Jordan up.
I like it.
Like, can you scroll up? Let's look at the last of this list. This is crazy to me. Geno Smith, absolutely not. Jared Goff, arguably. Herbert, arguably. Okay, Jaden Daniels, hell of a rookie season, right, guys? Wasn't that fun to watch him last year? But my goodness, top 6 in the NFL as a quarterback off of one season.
No,
I'm too drunk to taste that chicken, right? So I'm going to go ahead and move him down. I'd put Daniels as my 10, bumping Geno out of there, and then I'd move Jordan up there somewhere, 8 or 9, 7, maybe somewhere in that range. I don't know.
Gotcha. I'll tell you this, man. As the article says, 2023 Jordan Love, top 3 quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. Outside of, if you remove those final 9 games of the 2023 season, I'm putting Jordan probably around the 15 spot. But taking all things into consideration, I've said from the beginning, I feel like he's somewhere between 10 and 13, me personally. And again, if he returns to 2023 form, you're talking about an absolute freaking dog. And I think he will now that he's healthy. So the thing I wanted to point out here, though, guys, keep in mind, all right, Jordan Love is number 12 on this list, right? Just keep that in the old memory bank, all right? Now let's move on to receiving cores. So they did a ranking of receiving cores. It says 2025 NFL receiving core rankings. Eagles kick off things at number 1. So they got the Eagles 1, Tampa 2, Bengals 3, Lions 4, 49ers 5, Vikings 6, Dolphins 7, Rams 8, Bears 9, Texans 10, Falcons 11, Ravens 12, Commanders 13, Chiefs 14, Cowboys 15, Jaguars 16,
What?
Colts 17, Cardinals 18, Bills 19, Seahawks 20. The Green Bay Packers come in the 21 spot. So if I were to tell you guys, you got the 12th best quarterback in the league and the 21st best receiving core, where do you think we would rank in passing? Where do you think we would rank statistically? I mean, the 12th, not
18.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that mark?
Like that, yeah.
Okay. Well, in yards per pass attempt, the Green Bay Packers finished 4th in the league last year. 4th at 8.1. San Francisco was 8.3, right above them. Detroit, 8.5. Baltimore, 8.8. The Packers, I repeat, finished 4th in passing, yards per pass attempt. How the hell do you have the 12th best quarterback, not even a top 10 quarterback, and the 21st best passing or best receiving core, but somehow, some way you finish 4th in passing? Somebody explain that to me like I'm 10 years old.
They don't know what the they're doing. You understand that?
That is absolutely insane to me. Like, what made the passing game go? Like, what was it that allowed us to be so effective in moving the ball down the field? Like, I don't necessarily agree with the Jordan Love ranking, right? Like, or disagree, I should say, because the interceptions play a role in that. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's going to drag you down a little bit. Somewhere between 10 to 13, I'm okay with it. I think you'll improve tremendously this year. But having the receiving core be 21st in the league after you finish 4th in passing is absolutely insane.
Right.
And look at the teams that are right there. Like, scroll back, like Seattle
Even if Seattle, you take Seattle, you got JSN, Cooper Kupp, and MVS. That's who he's throwing to, and you're telling me,
right? That's better than what we have.
Better. Come on now.
And who's 19? Buffalo.
Chuck says they're smoking straight crack with their feet. Yeah, number 19 was Buffalo. Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Yeah. I guess because Marvin Harrison Jr., the one trick pony there.
There's a name. Okay.
The Colts?
Yeah. You got to be
Colts.
The Colts.
I've got to know, where did Indianapolis? Oh,
every team we've seen so far should be scratched off the list. We've leapfrogged every one of these teams already.
The Colts finished 18th at 7 yards per pass attempt.
This receiving is tough.
This is insane, dude. And again, it's Green Bay 21st is just nuts to me.
That's mind-boggling.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to touch on that, to go not sure what they're seeing here. Yeah. But again, this is why I heard Michael Lombardi say this one time, and he said it was a couple F-bombs mixed in with some other colorful language. And he said, whoever's running PFF need to get them to stop writing articles over there because they lose damn credibility every single time they put their pen to the paper.
I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
Like if you want to build merit, you want to build confidence in your grading and what you guys are known for, your PFF grades, get these knuckleheads, these guys off of the damn keyboard.
Right.
Articles. That's just insane. So anything else on the Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers, wide receiving core, all that stuff? Anything else? I'm going to pull up a tweet real quick and show y'all something to go along with this.
We'll just bookmark this whole conversation for at the end of this season.
Yeah.
When we see where our receiving room's at, right?
That 8% drop rate better get better, and we'll be in good shape. But even that wasn't the worst. We were fourth worst. So, I mean, that's not horrible. We're not bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I put a series of tweets out here with Jordan Love throwing to Jaden Reed. I was just watching tape earlier today. Watch this dime piece right here, man. On the run, watch him fade out. Look at this. Just on the run, little flick of the wrist, little slow-mo action for you.
Man, I wonder where he learned that from.
Just look at Jaden Reed going up, mossing a defender. Mossing a Harrison Smith, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's one play. I mean, I know we got the 21st best receiving core in the league, right? So as I'm going through, it was just Jaden Reed play after Jaden Reed play. It was unbelievable. Like, you guys remember the play with the LA Rams?
Maybe 4 defenders.
Yeah, it was in triple coverage, right? Definitely double coverage, a third defender out there as well. Look at this play right here. So imagine this is the 12th best quarterback in the league and a member, the best receiver on the 21st best receiving core. Look at this right here.
Oh, this is the definition of F it reads down there. So
that's right.
That is the play right there.
Yeah. Dude put his hand on his visor and everything. He couldn't see it.
Yeah. And there's people. I mean, I literally had to log off Twitter last year when people were just trying to talk as if Jaden Reed was a bad receiver. It is, dude. Kidding me? Crazy. I got one more for you here, too. There was actually a third one that popped up on the tape. And what we did, we're putting a chalk talk together for all of Jordan Love's 20-plus air yard throws. That'll be coming up here really, really soon. And boy, oh boy, is it a fun one to break down. Here's one more throw we'll show you, and then we'll move on to the LVN chalk talk, right? Look at this ball placement right here. And watch Jaden Reed with the concentrated catch again. This is just absolutely insane, man. Look at this. Look at where he puts this ball.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
And again, on a future, arguably Hall of Famer right there, Tyrann
Just
Matthew.
over the Honey Badger's ear, huh, Tim?
Right by the earpiece.
Can you drop it back to the front? Just look at that old line real quick. Look at that wall we got going on here. Come on now. Yeah, buddy. Look at that well.
You're right, man. That was a nice well.
Come on now.
There was one more I wanted to show, too. I can't remember if I actually loaded it up on Twitter or not. I don't think I did. I did not. But it was that throw. You'll probably remember it from the Eagles game where they do kind of a sprint left rollout where Jordan takes the snap out of shotgun, spins away, runs away. They kick Josh Myers out the block, right? Actually, I know it's on there because we were kind of cracking up at it.
That was the one he hit read on that one as well, right?
Yeah. So it's on the second part of that video that I already had pulled up. Let me pull this up real quick. This is you guys are going to appreciate this because when you see Josh Myers on this play, God love his heart. Right. So you remember that play we just showed?
Yep.
All right. Now here comes the play where he rolls out to the left. Watch this throw right here. 12th best quarterback in the league. Look at this. Right. Look at Josh Myers. Oh, Tim. What's Josh Myers here, man? This was great. First of all, focus on the throw first. Don't look at Josh Myers. Focus on the throw.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you see it, Tim? Let's go back to it. What's Josh Myers? Hell with it. Look. But look at this throw on the run. Look at the placement. And by the way, Jaden Reed.
Yep.
You kidding me?
2 feet down, ball getting hit.
It takes a shot, too.
Look at J Love square up his shoulders, though. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
All he needs is a second to square up and throw it.
Dude, and off the right foot, too. Off the right tippy toe.
Ugh.
That's not like he makes that look easy. That is not easy to
He even
do.
fell awkward on his leg there a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't love that. That was the first Philly game?
Yes, that was week one.
Brazil,
They were
right?
trying to battle back.
Of course, it was that field.
Yeah. Jaden Reed does a great job. Great job getting both feet in, too. So, anyway, maybe someday PFF will see it. Right now, they don't. But with that being said, anything else you guys want to hit on there with the quarterback wide receiver conversation before we move along?
Nothing.
Right.
Our quarterback and our receiver room are better than they're being ranked right now. But don't tell anyone. We'll let them be surprised.
There you go. All right, that's going to do it for hour one. For those of you listening on the pod, we will see you on the other side for hour two. We appreciate y'all.